Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is one that I'm super excited to film for you guys because today we are going to be doing my 2022 yearly favorites. So I normally split this video into two different parts. The first one being a little bit more of a list format where I describe my yearly favorites and I tell you what they are. And then the second one is normally a get ready with me where I apply all those yearly favorites onto my face so you can see what they look like. But I'm thinking because I don't have as many new products this year, a lot of them are actually repeats from the last few years. We'll actually combine the two videos and give you the best of both worlds so that way you can hear what my yearly favorites are, see some new additions and also see them on my face. So if you're curious to see this video, then just continue watching. Okay, so starting off with primers, here are my two picks for the year. The first one is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. This one I really enjoy for keeping my makeup on longer. And then the second one is actually quite a recent find, but the second I tried this, I knew I really liked it. This is the Tarte Quench Hydrating Primer, which I really enjoy for that water-like hydration. It just feels really nice on the skin. So seeing as I liked this one longer, let's go in with this one. So here is what it looks like. As you can see, it comes with a little pump. So I'm going to start off with a couple of pumps on that on the tips of my fingers. Here is what the texture looks like. You can see it's quite a runny gel. I'm going to rub that between my fingers and start applying that straight to my skin. I really like this one because it starts feeling nice and hydrating, and then as soon as it starts to dry down, it gets super tacky, and I find it's really good at making your makeup last longer. And then moving on to foundation, starting off with my favorite tinted moisturiser. This is the NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturiser and I've got 3 different shades. I've got Light 2 Alaska, Light 3 Greenland, and Medium 1 St. Moritz. And then next, my favorite full coverage foundation is this one right here. The last one and this one are both repeats. This is the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue Medium to Full Coverage Foundation, and once again, I've got 3 different shades. I've got 115 Light Medium, 118 Light Medium, and 119 Light Medium as well. So that's that one right there. And then the third foundation that I have to talk about, I'm going to say is my favorite medium coverage foundation. However, it is quite a recent find, but as soon as I tried it, I couldn't put it down and I've worn it ever since. This is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Water Foundation, and the shade that I have is 29G Light Medium Golden. So as you can see, I've got a little bit of a tan going on right now. I actually spent the last few days at the beach, so I'm definitely a lot darker than normal. So I thought, let's go right ahead and let's try a little mixture of these two. The first one, once again, is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Water Foundation in 29G Light Medium Golden. And I want to try it mixed in with my NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturiser in Medium 1 St. Moritz. So as you can see, the Tarte one has a little dropper, so I'm going to go right ahead and take a pump of that onto the back of my hand. And then I'm going to mix in about a half a pump of my NARS Tinted Moisturiser so you can see the two textures. And then to apply that, I'm taking a brush. This one here is the Real Techniques 204 Buffing Brush. I'm going to tap that brush straight into the foundations. And I'm going to apply that straight onto my cheeks. Next, I'm going to actually move on to my favorite cream contour recently. As you can see, I've literally almost emptied this. But this is the MCO Beauty Instant Contour Beauty Wand in the shade Light Medium. So as you can see, it's got a little puffer applicator. So you twist it to unlock the product, squeeze out some product, and then twist it back to close it up. And you can see the product is just on the tip. And then I'm going to start applying that to my normal contour areas. What I really like about this contour is just the way that it blends. As you can see, I can apply it pretty haphazardly across the face and it will always blend like an absolute dream. It's not too light and it's not too dark, and I just find that honestly, it's so beginner friendly, you really can't get it wrong. So I normally apply it just onto my skin like that, and then I take the same foundation brush and I just start blending it out. And then moving on to my favorite cream highlight of the year, this one here is the MCO Beauty Highlight and Glow Beauty Wand in the shade Champagne Glow. So as you can see, it comes with the same applicator. So once again, I'm going to open it up, squeeze out a little bit of product, and then seal it back up again. And then I'm going to apply that to the tops of my cheekbones, top of the brow, connect that through. I like to take some by the bridge of my nose and my Cupid's bow. And then once again, I take whatever foundation brush I was using to blend that out. And then finally, to finish off my cream cheek products, I've got my favorite cream blushes. These are the MCO Beauty Highlight and Glow Beauty ones in the shades Pink Glow and Peach Glow. I think because I've used Pink Glow quite recently, let's go in with this one called Peach Glow. Once again, you can see it comes with that exact same applicator. So once again, I'm going to open it up, squeeze out some product, and then lock it back up again. And then I'm going to apply that straight onto the center of my cheek. And then I'm also taking some by the bridge of my nose. And then for the last time, I'm taking that same foundation brush to blend that out. And then moving on to concealers, the first one that I have here is from NARS. This is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I've got 3 different shades. I've got Light 2 Vanilla, Light 2.5 Creme Brulee, and Medium 1 Custard. This concealer has been a repeat concealer. I pretty much wear this every single day. It never goes wrong. It's got such great medium coverage, and it really doesn't crease that much. The next concealer that I have to talk about is this one right here. You guys have heard me talk about this quite a few times already. It is such a favorite. This one here is the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue Concealer, and once again, I've got 3 different shades. I've got 10 Light, 14 Light Medium, and 16 Medium Tan. I really enjoy the coverage. They're really smooth, they're super flawless, and they're very forgiving on pores. The next concealer that I have to talk about is definitely one that I've got quite a few different shades for. I know you guys know this one really well. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Contour Concealer, and I've got 8 different shades. I've got Fair, Fair Neutral, Light Sand, Light Neutral, Light Medium Sand, Medium Sand, and Deep. So you can see I've got quite a few different shades. This one is another one that I tend to reach for when I'm going for more fuller coverage glam days. I love the color range. I love that there's so many different shades to select from. It's once again really long wearing, and it definitely has really great coverage. And then finally is my favorite facial concealer. It is the only concealer I'll wear on my face. This is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, and I've got 2 different shades. I've got Medium 1 Custard and Medium 1.5 Macadamia. These are the best facial concealer you'll ever find. They've got a soft matte finish, they blend like a dream, they've got the best colors, and the coverage on this is absolutely to die for. I can wear this with makeup or without makeup, and it looks good every single time. I can always rely on this concealer. I literally love it to death. It is the best. So as I just mentioned, this is my favorite facial concealer. I literally love it to death, but I've actually never tried it underneath the eyes before, so I actually think let's try that today. So once again, this is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, and this shade here is Medium 1.5 Macadamia. Once again, because I'm tanned, I normally use this on my face, but I actually think let's try it underneath the eyes today. And then to apply the concealer to my under eyes, let's go in with my favorite brush set. This is the Spectrum and Katie Jane Hughes Complete Artistry brush set, and I literally love it. It's got a couple of the number 8s, but apart from that, all the other ones are completely different shapes, and I truly feel like it's such good value for money. So to apply my under eye concealer, I'm taking this brush here, which is the Spectrum and Katie Jane Hughes number 10 brush. So I'm dipping that brush straight into the concealer pot. And I'm going to start taking that directly underneath my eyes. Yeah, you guys, look at the difference between my under eyes. That concealer is literally perfection. It works so nicely underneath the eyes, on top of the eyelid as a base, and it's so forgiving around the pore area. I literally think it is the perfect concealer. If you haven't tried it yet, you definitely need to. And then my favorite powder of the year is definitely this one right here. This is the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. I literally love this one so much. It doesn't darken my under eye, it keeps me matte all day, and it literally feels like nothing. And then my favorite brightening powder is this one right here, and to be honest, this one surprised me. This is the MCO Beauty Brighten and Correct Banana Powder. I actually really enjoy this to keep that under eye really bright. It doesn't darken, it doesn't dull, and it actually doesn't give you any flashback either. So if you live in Australia and you can get your hands on this one, I definitely recommend it too. But my favorite under eye setting combo is actually this one right here. So once again, my Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder, and this little velour puff that I got from Laura Mercier. This is actually just a mini, but I imagine the full size would work just the same. But I love that this fits so well underneath the eyes. It picks up the perfect amount of powder, so I'll show you how I like to use it. So what I do is I take off the cap and I fold my little velour puff like a burrito. I press just the tip of it into the powder. Then taking the powder, I like to fold it back in on itself, and I like to work the powder straight into the puff. Fold it back out on itself, wrap it around my finger, and I like to press the powder right underneath my eyes. And you can literally see such a direct difference between my two under eyes. This side here just looks a lot more smooth, a lot more pore perfected, and it's not darker by any means. I find that this combo literally makes my under eye concealer wear like an absolute dream. Doesn't flash back or doesn't look crepey or weird throughout the day. I would definitely say this is best for oilier skin types because I have super oily skin. I cannot do without powder. But if you do want to try this, I highly suggest try the Velour Puff from Laura Mercier and the Translucent Loose Setting Powder. It is such a match made in heaven. And I feel like my under eyes just wear so perfectly throughout the day. I'm taking that same puff with some more powder and I'm setting the center of my forehead, the bridge of my nose, and around the mouth. And then taking a bigger brush, this one is the Spectrum and Katie Jane Hughes No. 1 brush. Tapping that lightly into the powder. Removing any of the excess. And I'm going to use that to set the rest of my face. So moving on to powdered cheek products, my first favorite bronzers are actually these ones right here. These are the Vive Modern Bronzer Bronzing Duos, and I've got 4 shades. I've got light, medium, tan, and deep. So out of the 4 shades, I definitely get the most use out of this one right here. This one here is in the shade medium. What I really like about this one is you can see there's a nice light warm bronzer and a really nice contour shade for my skin tone. If you're a little bit lighter or a little bit darker than me, you could definitely get away with any of the other 3 shades too. But I really like the formula. It's super smooth and it blends like a dream. And then my other favorite bronzer is this one right here. I literally love this formula so much. I've talked about it a lot. But this is the Chantecaille La Serena Bronzer and Highlight Duo. Sadly, you can't pick up this exact compact anymore, but I love the outer packaging. And then on the inside, you can see it comes with a bronzer and a highlight. You can actually still pick up the bronzer in its individual pan. This one here is in the shade Serena, but I really enjoy this formula. It is truly unmatched. It blends like a dream and you literally cannot get it wrong. So I think today let's go in with this one right here. This is once again the Vive Modern Bronzer Bronzing Duo in the shade medium. So to apply that, I'm taking the Spectrum and Katie Jane Hughes No. 5 brush. And I'm mixing the 2 bronzers in the duo. And I'm applying that straight onto my cheeks. I'm also taking that around the forehead. I'm also taking some down the center of my nose and around the chin. And then for powder highlights, apart from the Chantecaille Duo that I just showed you with the bronzer and the highlight, these are the only other highlighters that I wanted to reach for this year. These are all by the brand Becca. Sadly, Becca discontinued her brand. However, she did do a collaboration with Smashbox, which allowed some of the shades to be returned. So these are all the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed. I've got 2 minis in Vanilla Quartz and Moonstone. And then I've got 1 full size in the shade Opal in this hand. And then this palette right here was actually a limited edition collection palette that I mainly use for the highlights. This is the Becca Cosmetics and Jaclyn Hill Champagne Face Collection, and it's got 2 highlights in the shades Prosecco Pop and Champagne Pop. So here is what the inside of the palette looks like, and as I said, I mainly use it for the 2 highlights. So you've got Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop. So I think so you can see it, let's go into this shade here, which is called Champagne Pop. So I'm starting by taking this brush here, which is the Spectrum and Katie Jane Hughes number 8 brush. And I'm tapping straight into the highlighter called Champagne Pop. And I'm applying that straight onto my cheeks. I'm taking a bit down the center of the nose and the Cupid's bow. And then for powder blush, I was definitely gravitating towards this one right here. This is the Vive Sunset Blush in the shades Pesca, Cherub, and Sorbet. So I think today let's tap into this one. So once again, this is the Vive Sunset Blush in the shade Cherub. So to apply the blush, I'm taking my Spectrum and Katie Jane Hughes number 3 brush. Tapping that brush straight into the blush. And applying that straight onto my cheeks. So to save us some time, I've gone right ahead and I just filled in my brows using my 2 favorite brow products of the year. The first one is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Waterproof Brow Pencil in Rich Brown. And then to fluff them up, I used the Schwarzkopf Got to Be Glued for Brows and Edges Gel. This one here is quite a recent favorite, but I've really been drawn to it recently. So for eyeshadow primer, these 2 right here have been my favorite this year. The first one is the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base in Clear. And the second one is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion as well. So I think today let's use the Urban Decay because my NARS one is empty. So I'm squeezing some of that onto the tip of my finger. And I'm blending that all over my eyelid. So for eyeshadow palettes, I've got so many different formulas that I really enjoy, but these 2 are the 2 that I gravitate towards the most right now. The first ones are the Vive eyeshadow palettes and the second ones are the Dose of Colors eyeshadow palettes. So I'll show you them super quickly. So the first one is the Vive The Essential palette. The second one is the Vive The Muse palette. The next one is the Dose of Colors Baked Browns eyeshadow palette. This one here is the Dose of Colors Blushing Berries palette. We've got the 2 in the newer packaging. So the first one is the Dose of Colors Pretty Cool palette. And then last but not least, you've got the Dose of Colors Smoky Soiree eyeshadow palette. So I'm starting by taking the Spectrum and Katie Jane Hughes number 11 brush. So I want to do something pretty simple, so I'm starting off with a Pretty Cool eyeshadow palette, and I'm taking that brush into the second shade over, which is called Let's Chill. And I'm popping that on my outer half of my eyelid. Next, I'm taking the same brush and I'm tapping into the second shade here in the Baked Browns eyeshadow palette. This is called Deserted. And I'm using that to blend out that shade into the crease. Next, I'm taking this brush here, which is the Spectrum and Katie Jane Hughes number 18 brush. And I'm tapping into the same shade. And I'm popping that along my lower lash line. Grabbing the Spectrum and Katie Jane Hughes number 12 brush. I'm taking the Smoky Soiree eyeshadow palette and tapping into the second shade here, which is called New in Town. And I'm patting that on my inner half of my lid. I actually haven't tried that shade yet, but it's actually so pretty. I love that it's more of a topper. It's not even a true shimmer. It's super beautiful. So next for eyeliner, my two favorites this year have been these two. The first one I tend to wear on my lower waterline. This is the Marc Jacobs Fine Liner Ultra Skinny Gel Eye Crayon in the shade Oh Spice. And the other one is my favorite liquid liner. This is the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Liner in the shade Intense Black. So starting off with the lower waterline, I'm taking the brown liner about halfway across. And then for the upper lash line, I'm starting off by doing a half wing liner. So moving on to mascara, my favorite mascara of all time is the Kevyn Aucoin Curling and Volume Mascaras, but I've actually ran out of both of them. So since I don't have a new one to open up, I've actually been using the MCO Beauty Extend Lash Mascara in black. So for lashes, I've got quite a few different styles of lashes that I love, but today I feel like doing a half lash. So this is the Vive Half Lash in the style HL5 Smoky. So here is what the lashes look like in HL5 Smoky. You can see they're really pretty and fluttery, and they're quite dramatic, but they don't overtake the eye because they're a half lash. And then moving on to lips, I've got quite a few different lip liner favorites. So I've got 3 favorites from Dose of Colours, 2 from Vive and 1 from Tarte. So let's go right ahead and swatch them all. So the first one is Dose of Colours Overdrawn Lip Liner. The second one is Dose of Colours Escape. The third one is Dose of Colours Dime. The fourth one is Vive Brat. The fifth one is Vive Bark. And the sixth one is Tarte Baked. So there is the liners all together. I think let's use the third one, which is Dose of Colours Dime. So I'm going to start lining my lips. And then for lipsticks, I've got so many different favorites from the year, but I narrowed it down to my top 2 favorites. So the first ones are the Vive Modern Matte Lipsticks, and the second ones are the Marc Jacobs Enamored Hydrating Lip Gloss Sticks. So let's go right ahead and swatch them all. So starting off with Vive Treasure. Next is Vive in the shade Vive. This one is Marc Jacobs Sugar Sugar. And then you've got Marc Jacobs Wet Your Lips. So you can see they're all pretty similar, but I think today let's use the Vive Modern Matte Lipstick in the shade Vive. So I'm taking that straight onto my lips. And then for lip gloss, I've got 2 different formulas that I really enjoyed this year. The first one is the Vive Lip Dew Glossy Lip Oil in the original shade. And then the other ones are the Marc Jacobs Enamored High Shine Lip Lacquers, and I've got 3 different shades. So once again, let's swatch them all. So starting off with the Vive Lip Dew Glossy Lip Oil. Next is Marc Jacobs Sugar Sugar. Next is Marc Jacobs Pretty Thing. And the last one is Marc Jacobs Skin Deep. So there is the lip glosses. I think today let's use Skin Deep. So I'm going to go right ahead and apply that straight onto the lip. And then finally, to lock everything in, we've got my 2 favorite setting sprays from 2020. So the first one is the Urban Decay and Mechalon All Nighter Setting Spray in the scent Summer Solstice, and the Tarte Stay Spray Setting Spray. So I think today let's use the Tarte. So I'm going to start by shaking out the bottle, and I'm going to start setting my face. This is the finished full face of my 2022 yearly favorites. I cannot believe another year has passed, but I've got to say, I think this video really shows me to reflect on the collection that I have and really draw inspiration from the things that I'm currently loving, and I hope to bring these things into the year 2023. I hope you guys had a wonderful 2022, and I'm hoping you have an even better 2023. I'm sending you all the good love and wishes, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then you guys know what to do. Please feel free to leave this video a like, comment and leave any requests that you have down below in the comment bar. Subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell and drag it all the way down to all to become a part of this family and be notified of all my future videos. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys. The fourth one is needing to be sharpened. Jacob's Enamored High Shine Lip Gloss.